Hey guys, welcome to Wild Hope Homestead. We've got a lot of things to try and do today, so we'll see how we go. Oh no, is that rain? Just a tiny bit of rain. I was just going to say it's supposed to be fine today, but you never know at the moment. There's these random showers off and on sometimes. We've got a lot of food making to catch up on. It's been the name of the game lately, catching up on food and trying to get the brassica crops planted out in the front plot. So I've been working on getting the weeds out of there and slowly building back up our food supply. So we used just about all of our freezer meals and bits and pieces of cooked things in the freezer while we were sick. So we've been having to work on replenishing everything. So Steve, I've made bone broth. I made chicken broth while we were sick too. So we've got some stocks of those, and Steve made some of his concentrated tomato soup yesterday, which is good. He made a big batch of that because I need some of that for today. So today I am hoping to get the lasagna made. I made the dairy-free ricotta cheese a couple of days ago, so that's in the fridge. Steve's done the tomato soup, and I'm planning to quadruple the recipe, so make 4 lots of lasagna so we can get a bunch of it in the freezer, half normal and half gluten-free. And I've also got to try and get the seedlings planted out the front, and Steve needs to mow the lawn, and yeah, there's just a lot of things to catch up on, as well as just trying to do it slowly and have some rest as well. So yeah, there's a lot to do, but yeah, we need to catch up on things, and it'll be good. It's really nice feeling already, having more food in the freezer. It's getting some big meals done so we can put extras into the freezer as well. Good morning, Ben Wyatt. You're such a big dude, aren't you? You're tall. You might be our tallest rooster now. Got a lovely dark coloured eye. There's Ron Swanson eating, and Basil's drinking. Hello, Basil. And these two kind of stick together a bit, and Ben White's kind of a little bit separate at the moment. I wonder if he was the one who injured Basil's comb. I'm not quite sure what happened there. So I don't really feel like spending a lot of time making food at the moment, but that's just what we need to do. And it is a really good feeling having food in our freezer for those days when we're sick, or something goes on with the kids, or there's a heron. Anyway, getting distracted. The chickens get nervous when herons fly above because they're big. The days when if we're sick, or someone's injured, or something happens, or we have to unload a trailer of something, or just when life gets busy, it's good to be able to have things in the freezer to just pull out. So it takes work to get freezer meals built up, but it does definitely pays off in the long run. We don't really get takeaways at all unless we're away or something, partly because we can just make something faster than it would take the time to drive into town and get something and drive back home, and partly because the food we make is nicer and healthier. We make pretty much everything from scratch, so it's good. We use a lot of good whole foods and things, and because we have some intolerances or allergies in the family as well, with 3 of us, it's just easier to make our own stuff and better for us. So food is a big making food is a big part of our lifestyle, but we really enjoy eating it, and it's nice to be able to eat stuff that actually makes us feel good. So I've got to get some parsley for the lasagna now from the garden. I need like 1 cup of chopped parsley, so I need a lot. But I've got plenty here. And here. Comfrey's looking happy in its new home. Most of the carrots are doing well. I got most of the carrot bed weeded, except for the super weedy end. But I think I can remember. I think that was Burlicum Paris Market, and those were older seeds. We did a few of those. Rainbow Blend and Touchon was down here. They are most competition from weeds. So. And then I'm not sure if any parsnips are coming up or not, because there's a lot of celery, masses of celery seedlings in there, plus speedwell weeds that I need to get out. Right, it's time to get the lasagna cooking. So first up I'm going to be chopping some onions, garlic, and get those and the mince into the pan. The recipe has a combination of ground beef, or mince as we call it, and Italian sausage, which is we call ground pork mince, pork mince. So I guess it's seasoned pork mince, but we're just using half beef mince and half pork mince for this one. We've had a lot of trouble with black aphids getting into our onions. There must have been just a few on some of the Egyptian walking onions, I think. And so I've been having to wash them, which is really annoying, but they're still perfectly usable, so that's good. Steve's got a pork roast cooking in the slow cooker for pulled pork for dinner, so I'm just working around that. I'm heating up some of the fat skimmed off the beef bone broth in our giant pan. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit everything in here, but we'll see how we go. And I've got the chopped Egyptian walking onions, and I'm going to chop the garlic. Garlic. that's cooking nicely, and now I'm going to whiz up some of our tomatoes that were in the freezer. Defrosted the tomatoes overnight. So I've whizzed up the tomatoes with the stick blender. Just about overflowed the jug, but we're okay. And that's our crushed tomatoes. We've got some of the concentrated tomato soup that Steve made that he left in the fridge for me, and that's going to substitute for the tomato paste and tomato sauce. I really hope this all fits. It's going to be tight. I've never made this much at once before. Oh boy, this is pushing it. Yep. Might just add a little bit after it's cooked down a bit. Yep, it's a little bit full, so I'm just going to add the seasonings and then add the last bit of crushed tomatoes after it's reduced a little bit. I need half a cup of chopped parsley now and half a cup later. It's a little bit of an intense amount of food in the pan, but I think it'll be okay. So we put some in a stock pot so that we could fit everything in. Steve's going to watch the lasagna mince for me so I can go off into the garden and get some things planted. Now I have to go through my poor seedlings which have been waiting for way too long and see which ones are still okay. Definitely not the cauliflower, but we'll see. We've got some kale in both rows already and a bit of pak choy in this one, so I don't know. I've got 3 trays of plants this size to go through and see what I can fit where. I think I'll put the kale in this row, and I've got pak choy and tatsoi that can go in this row, and we'll see how far along we get. I didn't quite get to finish dealing with the flex last night. I got the leaves cleared off the bed and then I tried to pull some more chunks out, so temporarily made the situation worse, but I'm just going to start planting for now while the scarlet's in bed. Steve picked up a couple of bales of barley straw for me yesterday, which was great because we're actually going to get it mulched this time to stop the weeds, and I'm going to put that down first before planting because I find that's easier. I haven't got the rows all nicely level, but we're just going to bung things in while we can. Thank you! Angus has laid out some flakes of barley straw for me, so that's nice. And brought the other bale over. I really just need to deal with this flex so I can finish mulching the row. So I'm pulling more of these big hunks out. This is what I'm dealing with. Trying to get these big hunks out, which are very heavy and strong, but it is whacking back the size a lot. Now that I've dug a huge chunk of the flax out, I'm got it away from the row, I can finish mulching. What a difference that makes. It looks so nice. All mulched and ready for the plants. I've got all my tatsoi planted. Some of it in little gaps between all these other things. And then carrying on through here. Tatsoi is good because it doesn't need as much space. So it's good for fitting into smaller spaces. And then I think I'm going to do the pak choy next. I'm going to keep kale over there, try and keep it down that end, and then I'll see how we go. But I need to go have lunch and get back to the lasagna first. Yes, Steve's helping make the lasagna because I'm trying to fit too much into one day. Also, he's good with food things.
That's the pasta. I just tried to cover them.
Oh. They look yummy. Finally getting back to planting. Planted the kale all around here, except for three that I'm going to put in the raised bed garden. And then I've done one of the varieties of red cabbage here, that's Scarlet O'Hara, which I couldn't help but get because we have a scarlet. Haven't grown that one before. And now I'm going to plant some broccoli here. Well, that's all we've got time for today. So I got the tatsoi planted in there, and then the red pak choy, kale, one of the red cabbage varieties, some green broccoli, and that's all for now, and a few kales in the raised bed garden. So we'll have to get the rest done another day. Steve was super helpful with getting things done today, helping with Scarlet, and the washing, and the lasagnes, and mowing the lawns, so that made us get done what we got done today. Thanks for joining us today, guys. Choose to go hope, and we'll see you next time. Bye. And now I have to fit our lasagnes in the freezer. So we've got 2 normal lasagnes with wheat pasta, and then we've got 2 gluten-free ones that I can eat, and they're all dairy-free, so everyone can eat them.